Hello students, now in this session I will explain question number 2 of exercise 13.1. So you will find that one box is given in question number 2 and there's some empty space are given in the box. So we have to really find out what would be the suitable answers for all those empty boxes. Now before that we'll write some values, that is let us take some coefficients, that is A, B, C and D for all the unmentioned or the empty box for all the empty boxes. So first we'll start with A. So the first value that we'll find is A. Now before that we need to specify and we need to clarify that whether it is a direct or inverse variation, because in the question paper if this box is given then you have to really write that whether it is a direct proportion or an inverse proportion. So it's very important to understand that whether it is a direct or indirect inverse proportion. So this part we have already discussed earlier, but again I will try to recollect or rewind your memory. So see, when I'm concentrating on A, so I will not look for all this box, all these parts. Okay, we'll only concentrate on this four part. Okay, now how to decide, how to come to a conclusion that whether it is a inverse proportion or a direct proportion. So you see that what is the first thing written in the box? Parts of a red pigment and parts of base. Now you see in the first data is given 1 and the second data for parts of red pigment is given 4. So it is increasing, isn't it? So when we are increasing the parts of red pigment from 1 to 4, so it's quite obvious that the parts of base will also increase from 8 to some number which will be greater than 8. So what is the observation that we're doing is that when we are increasing this part, so we are quite expecting that the value of A would be more than 8. So in this way we can conclude that since both the values are increasing, that is when we are increasing 1 to 4 and some expected answer of A would be more than 8, then we can say that this is a direct proportion. So this is how we can decide that it is a direct relation. So direct proportion means that if the two datas that is given and what we have to find out, if they are both are increasing or if both are decreasing, in both the cases you will write that it is a direct proportion. So you have to mention that it is a direct proportion. This is very important. Okay, so these are all direct proportion. Fine. Now the first thing that we'll do is we'll get the value of A. So how to get it? So when it is a direct proportion, students, so how to write it, you have to also learn how to write it. That is 1 to 8, 1 by 8 is equals to 4 by A. Fine. Now we'll do the cross multiplication. So A into 1 is A and 4 into 8 is what? 32. So the value of 8A is 32. Now let's move on to some number, that is how to get the value of B. So when you are concentrating on B, so you will not consider this 4 by A, 12 by C and not 20 by D also. So you will concentrate on 1, 8, 7 and B. Okay. So 1 by 8 would be equals to 7 by B. So these are all direct proportion, students. Okay, so because as you see that we are again increasing the red pigment from 1 to 7, so we can expect that the value of B would be more than 8. Okay, because it's quite obvious that when we'll increase the red pigment, the base and the color will be more darker, isn't it? So the red pigment we have increased from 1 to 7, the base of red color will be more, that is from 8. So B value will be more than 8. So both are increasing, so it is a direct proportion. And when it is a direct proportion, we can say that 1 by 8 is equal to 7 by B. Okay, so we'll do the same thing for all the other values also, that is for C and D also. So again we have to go for a cross multiplication, that is B ones are B and 8 sevens are is what? 56. So see, the value of B is 56. Now let's get on with C. So when we are concentrating on C, we'll not see this two part. So we'll only concentrate on 1, 8, 12 and C. Okay. So 1 by 8 equals to 12 by C. Again cross multiplication. So C ones are C and 8 into 12 is 96. And finally we'll get the value of D. That is for this, we will not concentrate on this one, but only we have to look for 1, 8, 20 and D. So we'll write as 1 by 8 is equals to 20 upon D. So let's do the cross multiplication. D ones are D and 8 20s is what? 8 20s are 160. Absolutely right. Fine. So these are the values of A, B, C, and D. So this is a solution of question number 2. I hope everyone has understood this easy sum. But still I say that if you have not understood direct proportions, please intimate in Google Classroom, okay? And if you're getting any problem in Google Classroom, students, then you can intimate me in WhatsApp group. But WhatsApp group is a second choice. Please make your Google Classroom as a primary one. Fine. Thank you so much. Do join me for the next session where I will explain you question number 3. Okay. Till then, take care and stay blessed.